study has found teenagers who work are better prepared for the future. The research discovered children with a paid job are better equipped to engage with money than those without one, and that employment gives them the chance to set themselves up for the future. For more on this, we're joined by financial expert Olivia Maragna. Olivia, thanks for joining us. And can you tell us, what is it that kids learn when they have a paid job?
Well, in terms of, financial literacy, they're really getting a kickstart. So things like online purchases, using debit or credit cards, even making purchases on their phones. So kids who are working are twice as more likely to be doing these sorts of transactions. When it comes to interest around paying taxes or understanding taxes, 3 times more likely to show interest than those not, and also superannuation 4 times more likely to have a good understanding or learning towards superannuation.
How common is it for teenagers to work?
Well, I think out of the study, around about 2 out of 5 parents were actually or had children in their household between the ages of 14 and 18 working. The interesting fact was those who earned more money, so household incomes, the higher they were, the more likely there was a child working outside of school hours.
That is interesting. And so for parents who have a kid who've just gotten a job, how should they support them?
Well, I think the most important thing is support them by actually your learning, so what you've actually learnt around money. So simple things like understanding a pay slip, I think, is really important. So checking your pay rates, but also in terms of superannuation, choosing a great superannuation fund. So you don't want to fall into that trap of you've had the first 5 jobs and you've got 5 different super funds. So choosing that super fund, I think, is really important. But also from a parent's point of view, managing expenses. So typically when kids start working, they've got a few more extra expenses, so helping them actually manage that expenses.
And are there any other tips that parents should pass on to teenagers to help them manage their money smartly?
Yeah, look, I think the most important thing is save before you spend. So whilst they've got this lovely money coming in, make sure they're actually saving for what they want to purchase, so it gets them away from that credit. But I think just generally you get really successful teenagers working with money when you can actually structure their cash flow. So what I mean by that is bank account structure, get all your pay going into one bank account, but only paying themselves enough to what they actually want to spend. So save it all up, but only pay yourself a restricted amount each and every week, I think, is really important.
That's great advice. Olivia Maragna, thanks so much for joining us.